Hello and welcome everybody to SOMA Breath. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a huge warm welcome to you all inside our Zoom room and anyone watching on YouTube. To those who are watching us on YouTube, what are you doing there? You need to be over here inside our Zoom room. So please do come on in. Amber has dropped the Zoom link in there for you. It's completely free. So do come on in. That way I can see you. Put your hand up if you want to ask a question. So for those of you who've always been with us, you'll be wondering, what is this? What is this new Ask Me Anything category that we have here? And for those who don't know us, well, Ask Me Anything literally means that, except you don't ask me, you ask our founder, Niraj Naik, who is the founder of SOMA Breath, who has a wealth of knowledge. So let's just give it a few more moments for our YouTube crowd to join us in here. So what we've done is we've given a powerful new twist to our Q&As. The Ask Me Anything now replaces what used to be Power Hour, where you can literally come in and ask Niraj what you need to know, who's a fountain of knowledge of everything to do with not just breath work, but your overall well-being, so you can understand how your mind, body, soul, emotions, feelings, all of that, how it's all integrated and works together as one whole. And Power Hour has an absolutely new twist where, to dive even deeper into specific topics, Niraj will be giving a discussion about a topic that he chooses, which we will let you know about the week before. So you can come prepared, take notes, ask questions, and get to know yourselves and your own bodies, your own breath, the way you think, the way you know, everything a lot better. So I can already see hands up, so I can see that we're all rearing to go. So let's start the way we always do, with our sign of love. Even when we're not doing our breathe together sessions, we're always here to raise our level of vibrational energy. All right, so without further ado, let's give a lovely round of applause to Mr. Niraj Naik, who I have spotted first go this time, Niraj. So welcome to your community who are waiting to hear from you. Welcome, Niraj.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Great to be back. It's been a while, it feels like. So, this last week, everyone that I know in Ibiza has been coming down with something, including myself. So I thought what I'd do is just give you a few little tips on what I do to get over things like colds and flus. I think that'd be kind of useful right now, considering the time we're in. Who here's had any kind of a cold or flu in the last week? Or might have one right now? Anyone?
Well, I had a bit of congested feeling, ear, throat, head, eyes. Yeah.
That's normal. Anyone else? No, you're all so healthy. Wow. Okay.
That's because we're SOMIs. But let me just invite
Maybe it's
everyone,
just
Niraj.
Ibiza.
Anyone who's just joined, please do feel free to turn your cameras on. It's so much easier for you when Niraj does ask questions and you have to raise your hands, and we can spot you very quickly.
Yeah. I think they're just spraying stuff on Ibiza right now. Messing with the weather and people's health. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. So, yeah, so we have an app, the SOMA Breath app, and on there you're going to have lots of different techniques and protocols for things like colds and flus and other issues. So let me ask a question actually to some of the people who are already here who've been, following us for a while or are already instructors. What would you do from our selection of techniques, if anyone wants to answer, if you have a cold or a flu come on? Anyone want to be brave enough to answer? Come on.
Alternate nostril breathing.
Who said that?
Humming. Marie.
Okay, humming is a good one. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyone else? Why alternate nostril breathing?
She also said alternate nostril breathing, exactly.
Yeah, that's not as important as some of the other techniques that I'm going to talk about. Anyone else want to say anything?
Are our instructors allowed to answer? Yes?
Yeah, of course.
Can answer. Instructors, go for it.
As well. Testing them.
I was gonna say, could do the nose shaking to help if you're having a hard time breathing.
Yeah, top
My
notch.
kids love doing that when I show it to them all the time when they have colds.
That definitely works a lot. So the reason why those two techniques work really well is because it stimulates creating what? What gas does it create? Krishna, let's go a hand up.
Nitric oxide.
Perfect. So nitric oxide is the miracle molecule for your body. So it acts as antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and it's a bronchodilator, vasodilator. So the way we produce it is just think of the acronym NO, right, is a symbol of nitric oxide. So think of the acronym of nose, right? The first two letters is nitric oxide. The only way you produce it is through nasal breathing, all right? So yeah, alternate nostril breathing can help with that if you're somebody who doesn't have a habit of just nasal breathing, but also no breathing. So when you hold your breath, all right, for a certain period of time, you also stimulate nitric oxide, all right? So the techniques that do that are our breath retention techniques, like the daily doses and all the other techniques that involve holding the breath till maximum effort, right? But the nasal breathing techniques also will help, especially if you have a habit of mouth breathing. So people who are mouth breathers will have more of a risk of getting colds and flus that last a long time, right? Because they're not producing this antiviral as much. So that's why, it's really a good habit to have nasal breathing as your kind of go-to thing, as your habit. It should be like brushing your teeth every day. You're mindful of it. Now, there are going to be instances, though, where you might find it really hard to breathe through your nose, okay? So, like, it happened to me last night where the nose is so stuffy, it's really hard to breathe through the nose, okay? So, sometimes this happens when you are about to go to sleep. Some of you might relate to this, is that when you lie down, sometimes congestion feels worse, right? So sometimes you have to sit up for a period. And this is a time when you can do one of the most effective techniques for producing nitric oxide, that someone mentioned, which is humming, all right? So we have a track, we're going to just do it now quickly, all right, for a few minutes, where we're just going to hum to this quick protocol, all right? So let me just load it up. I've been doing this a lot. And
Niraj, before
Yeah.
you play that, I'm just going to mute everybody because right now people can unmute themselves and then it might interrupt your music. So I'm just going to mute everyone,
Okay.
which will mute you for a second.
Go for it.
Hold on. Okay. And now if you can unmute now. Can you unmute, Niraj?
Yep.
Yeah, now try, because otherwise we might get some interruptions.
Okay, so let me just pull up. So they found that humming at 130 hertz is the most potent frequency. Okay, so what I've done is I've made a track that is timed to that. So I'm just going to load that up and the instructions. And we're just going to breathe along with this. So all you need to do, okay, to do this, well, I'm going to play the instructions anyway, the version with the instructions, is to make sure you hum at the same pitch as the sound, okay? And what you can do is you can point with your tongue to this area here, and that will like send the vibration up. Because what we have to do is stimulate this area here, okay? Paranasal sinuses, to make the humming work properly. Okay, so let's listen along with this. And you're going to do it a certain rhythm, okay? You'll hear in the music. Okay, so let's play this and it will become very clear. Okay, so I'm sharing my sound. Yeah, let's go. We'll just do it for a couple of minutes. everyone? Pretty easy, right? So you can either do it like that, or you can also just do long tones. Now that repetition makes you stimulate more of it faster. But you can also do long hums. Hum. So I kind of mix it up a bit, but that faster pace helps you produce more of it and to bring it in. So our new app will have these tracks and more in there for this, as well as long tracks where you can just hum without any kind of pace to it. All right? So I thought I'd just throw that in there right now. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone?
Can I just ask a quick question? You also taught one day about putting the one arm under the armpit and blocking off another nostril. Is that good for like if you're congested with a cold?
So yeah, I missed out a very key thing.
Did you try that yesterday?
So this is what I did all yesterday. So yesterday I had a really, really, really runny nose, like next level. Like felt really congested. So what I do is I take a piece of tissue paper like this, okay? And I will block this nostril, the left nostril. And then for a few hours, I'm only breathing out of my right nostril. So the right nostril is your prana, it's your fire, it's energy. And your cold symptoms tends to come from an overactive left nostril, okay? And you're more likely to get the symptoms when you have the left nostril active for too long. So what you want to do, as soon as you start to feel the symptoms, check which nostril is more active, okay? You'll probably find your left nostril becomes more active. So to stop the running nose, what you do, tissue under your left nostril and just keep it like that. And you'll find just right nostril breathing for like an hour or two will prevent the symptoms. You'll feel way better. All right? Make sense?
Makes sense. And when you say notice which nostril is most active, do you mean which is the most blocked at that time?
What you'll find is that throughout the day, your nostrils are changing activity all the time. So right now, my left nostril is way more active than my right. That's probably why I'm feeling a little bit drowsy. So that's normal, okay, when your body's like in rest mode, right? So, but for actually counterintuitively, if you want to fight an infection cold, you want to be more right nostril dominant. Okay. So I'm going to just put that in there now. It's going to also help me focus more because you want your right nostril active. It's your sympathetic nervous system to stay more focused.
But if you leave that in there now, we're just going to focus on that more than actually on our questions. But are you happy to open the floor now to questions from our audience? So let me just put you all on gallery view. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and you can put it directly to Niraj. And if you're feeling a little bit shy, just drop it in the chat box and I'll ask Niraj for you. So, but we already have Mrs. Maya Menon is ready to put your question. So if you would like to unmute, please, Maya, and join us here. There you go. Welcome.
Hello, Mrs. Maya Menon, staying in London. Battersea Reach is my house. Me and my husband stays here. I have got 2 children. My son is in States. My daughter is here. Is a lawyer, married, both of them. Well, so much of problems recently. I've been born and brought up in South India, Kerala, but been living in London, since 85, in and out. But thing is that, so much of sufferings emotionally and so many things happened also, which made life, even though from outside, when somebody sees, yes, they will think, oh, she got, everything kind of thing. But thing is that my husband, he used to be an investment banker, worked with so many good Merlin, so many places here. Then he worked in Kuwait. But all the financially, actually, he used to be a multi-millionaire before until 10 years, 11 years back. But all the money he made, he spent to settle our son instead, who is a doctor there. So like that now, a lot of financial problems, and within few years my mental stage became like I'm always very much health anxious, always health anxious. I see all the worst scenarios of everything. So I'm a spiritual person, from the childhood, born and brought up in Kerala in a village. So always in a spiritual journey. I'll pray, do meditate, do yoga, walking. I do everything. I do attend your class also, different times. So thing is that then my son, there is some incident happened in 2000. My son became away from me. We don't talk each other. Like he haven't called me mom since 2000. I mean, at that time he was 70. Now he's in USA, married to an American girl, whatever child. So my relationship with him is very, very, very sad. And, I always, when I talk about him, tears just falls. But now I just control myself, like, because I've been to I mean, with the different classes, like past life karma busting. Because as a Hindu, we believe it's everything is past life karma. You have to go through this life and get it over and done with. So, but then I wanted to know is that particularly incident which I cannot explain now. That may be, that's not a very, I can't talk about it now. So, is that incident happened? If it is like past karma, like, is that incident happened just to take my son away from me? So in that case, why did it happen? Because I'm always been a God's person. I pray. I go to church also because I've studied in a convent in Kerala. So, I have got a bit of I have got strong belief in God, I just lean on God always. So, but thing is, provided saying all this is my husband doesn't believe in God that much. My children doesn't believe in God. But I just cling to, I'm different from. So anyway, so thing is that I always, in those days also, I used to pray a lot. So I always wanted to know, that why did it all things happen just to take my son away? Is the
Well, okay, so can I ask you
yeah.
a question? So you basically, just to recap, you and your husband put a lot of money into helping your son become a doctor.
No, not he studied here only, but he, to do a USMLE and,
Yeah. So you spent a lot of money. So is that what got you into the financial problems?
Yeah, that is not the financial, that one thing, because my husband, like, he's a very kind of a man who believe in technology and investment market. So, he doesn't have that kind of a spiritual awareness. Money could have gone any minute. Money comes and goes. He could have been careful because the apartment we are staying is like 1,200 per month service charge, which he bought when he was working in
So you're
Kuwait.
saying he spent too much money. He
No,
made a
not
lot of money.
spending. That he thought, career will be always ongoing. I mean,
Oh, did he lose his job or something?
yeah, that's what happened. He was working in Kuwait. Then the children grown up. I shifted there. Weather did not agree with me because of the dust weather. I had allergies. I lose my voice. So everybody.
So why do you think you stopped talking to your son?
No. Then after that, he got an opportunity in Dubai with a private person to build an investment company. So he resigned his high-profile job in Kuwait and moved to Dubai. But that was a bit of a fraud. I mean, it was not. He did not do anything. That whoever, whatever person. So then Gulf money stopped by that time. So all the money he spent is already been made, is spent to our son, my daughter. With children had a flamboyant life, you know. You can imagine two children in London alone. You know, my daughter is a lawyer. She, you know, studied here, all here. So everything is just gone. Then we end up selling the property in Kerala. We had an apartment in Dubai. We sold that. So, you know, so he also blames me because of you, because of you, because of you. Because he was working in Kuwait, Hyper, because I
Your
wanted to.
husband is blaming you for problems and your son as well.
Yeah. Basically, everybody look at me, say you. Then I get very. I went through a real, very much emotionally. You know, I used to cry, walk everywhere in our. We have got. I'm staying near River Thames. I walk near the river. 8 o'clock night last year. We were crying. Where are you, God? Where are you, God? Are you not seeing me suffering?
So do you feel very much alone right now?
Now okay. I mean, like I was talking to my friend in Kerala now. I said, so many people are helping me. For instance, you, because I saw your ad in the Facebook, you know, I jumped into it. Well, God is sending me so much of help through anybody. I mean, you are one among them, and so many other
But
classes.
how would you like to see things happen instead? What would you prefer
Yeah,
to
I
happen
just
instead?
wanted to know, is it is karma? I always ask everybody, will I get my son back? I don't want to compromise for anything less than
You want
that.
to get your son back.
Yeah, that is there. He's very tough, and his wife also. They came here to us last year, this time with their baby, and he did not allow me to hold the baby. It's all drama. Then my daughter got married in September. They came again. So that time his wife also was very much rude and, you know, little bit. And he said, so everybody was watching it, you know. People are not fools. They're watching the way he behaves to me, you know.
Okay, so I'll give you a little thing. So the bond between mother and child
Yeah,
is the strongest bond there
yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's the real love. In many cultures, the true definition of love is between mother and child, right?
Mm,
And that never really goes. It's
mm,
always there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what you've got to have faith in is that love, okay? That will never go. And as a mum, what you have to be really good at, and it's not easy to do, is to accept that things change in the reality things might change. Like your son might move away, your father might even, the husband might even leave, whatever, right? But that love will never change, that bond. It will always come back, right? But all you can do is now, in my opinion, this is not like I'm just giving you loose advice, I'm not any expert in this, is to focus on yourself and become that change within that you want to see. Because what will happen then is that vibration you give out will come back. This is the karma. So what's happened in the past is karma, right? Karma, life is karma. Everything we do is a action that has some cause and effect. So some things have happened in the past. We don't need to know too much of the story that have created this situation in your life, right? But if you want things to change, it starts first with accepting things how they are, all right? Make peace with the past because the past is the past. There's nothing you can do to change any of those things because if you get hung up on the past, right, you won't enjoy this present moment and you'll also end up becoming anxious of the future.
Yeah.
So what you can do though is write down all the things you can actually do for yourself. So now you've spent your whole life sacrificing yourself for the happiness of other people, okay? Especially your kids, which is very normal Indian family
Yeah.
situation. My mum's the same. She did the same kind of thing. And so on, generations. So what you're going to try and figure out is how can you make yourself as healthy and high vibe as you possibly can. And when people start to see your happiness, which they will, right? Your natural happiness, not the sadness, not the feeling sorry for the past, because there's nothing we can do about that anymore. What you can do is now start getting excited about the future and things that you want to call in. Like, work on yourself now, use this chance, because you're on your own, to spend all the time you've got. You don't have to cook for your husband or your son or your family. You don't have to take care of them.
No,
You've
no,
done
I
that.
do. I
The
do
job
cook
is
for
done.
my daughter. Her husband is
Maybe
a
your daughter, but you don't have to do like what you used to have to do, right? Now you've got more time for yourself. So use this time for yourself to really figure out what's going to make you super happy. And then, but remember that the love is already there between you and your son. You don't have to worry about whether he's going to come back or not, because he will. It's inevitable. It always happens, right?
But the blame from my husband, like, you destroyed my career. I mean, it's all, but the thing is that I try everything. I do 2 hours meditation, different transcendental meditation, different. I'm a meditator actually. Then I pray. So nothing is, my closest friend is a GP, she always tell me, Maya, you are trying so much and nothing is helping you, because every day I ring her and ask her, what is it going, physically I ask her, what is it? What is the worst thing? So she said, you asked me this question yesterday, one year.
Yeah.
The thing is that she's also upset that, and she's very close friend, and she's a doctor, she retired now, but she's always saying, nothing is helping you. So then again, she's told me, because there is no harmony in your life. That's one of my GPs here in London. He
Yeah.
told me.
So what let me just
So will
say
I
that
get my
what your
anxiety go away?
so your situation will require
Yeah.
an actual deep consultation, which is beyond this, what we can do on this call, because unfortunately of the time. So what I really recommend, because we have so many instructors and we have instructors in London, right, is to book a session with one of our transformational coaches. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's some on this call right now, maybe even one can email you or message you right now on the chat, and they will be able to go much deeper. And what you can do is do some techniques to reframe the past, because at the moment you're very much stuck in the past story. Yeah.
I'm stuck with my son, like that,
Yeah, that's why you're not moving forward, is because you're held back in the past. So that can be done is you can fix that, you can resolve that.
Thank you so much.
That needs a one-on-one support.
Yeah, so whenever you can, yeah. Thank you.
Maya, Amber has dropped the link already for you to be able to find an instructor in the UK, in London.
Send it to my email.
If you can copy that down, otherwise if you send me...
I don't know much about the technology.
Okay, can you send me your email address and we'll give you the link, okay?
Yeah.
And Maya, just what Niraj was saying is so important, was that it's you. I'm a mother of 3 children, okay, and two are adults, so it's not like I have little babies, but we are so crucial, and our mood is so crucial to the actual whole family, that if the mum, what Niraj was saying was change your vibration. If you are down, even if your son is angry with you and he still has that love in you, if he sees that mother that's down, he thinks you're pushing him away and that you don't want him to get near you, because it's so important.
Okay.
We were the safe container for our family, right? We brought them all up, and we're the safe container. When something goes wrong, although you're saying my husband blames me, my son blames me, we also blame ourselves, because we are that safe container.
Self-pity, yeah.
Exactly. So you need to change you, right? You need to change your vibration, and then your son will see that your arms are open to welcome him back, because he's probably finding it very difficult right now. He's sandwiched between you and his wife, and that is a tough choice for any man, right? So really talk to somebody one-on-one, because you will have a lot of private things as well to let go of, and that instructor will really walk you through and help you. And then after that, join our 21-day program, where you will be with a community of people who will also walk alongside with you, and you gain strength from each other. So you will get there.
I really Obliged, and thank you very being kind to me.
Thank you for, you're very brave to step up.
Yes, because you opened up a lot of topics which I think a lot of people will relate to. So you're not on your own. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate you.
I'm trying everything, and I'm doing justice to myself. I'm just trying. I never give up. So which is
So just make sure you send me your email address, and then we'll get you in contact with somebody. Okay. Thank you very much, Maya.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you.
Yeah, really important stuff was coming out there. So going from Maya, we have Krishna. I think you're a SOMA Breath instructor, are you? Yes. So let's take a question from you. Let's just, if you can unmute, please, and I'll just bring you up here. There you go. Hi, Krishna. Welcome.
Hi, Wilma. Hi, Niraj. So firstly, I just want to say that like the SOMA teacher training has completely transformed my entire existence. And I'm sure you remember me, but I came to the Austria retreat and I asked you about it. And so my whole journey has completely changed. And I guess I'm just working on my business to create a huge impact. And I wanted to ask you, some of the 3 non-negotiable components that really make a business really high performing. And I'm talking about the breath work. I'm talking about me being on a mission to drive this forward because I'm all about the yoga, about the breath work, about the retreats, about the coaching. So if you could share your wisdom, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, so the components that make a business work is you need an offer and you need customers and you need to find a way to reach them. So that's pretty much it. That's people overcomplicate things, but you need an offer, a really solid offer that is the right match to the audience you're trying to reach, right? And you need those audience. So you need traffic and conversion. The conversion is the offer. Traffic is eyeballs, is people. So that's all you really need. And then you need to do it in a cost-effective way where you're spending less to acquire customers, right, than what you make. So that way you make profit. That's it. That's how every business that's successful works. They spend less, right, to run the business than they make, and then they're in profit. So where people fall apart is where they get too complicated and they go beyond this business plan, which is very simple, and they forget about the basics. Spend less than what you make. So we show you how to do all of that in our course, how to make the offer. Well, there's different types of offers you can make as an instructor. And then there's marketing to reach the clients. So that's it really. Like, I don't know if we can go more complicated than that.
Can you unmute Krishna?
Thanks.
That's it.
I'm on it. I'm totally on it. So thank you for that.
And
thank
I think there is a Facebook link that maybe Amber can share with you, which I think, Niraj, you did a little video about what to do as a SOMA Breath instructor and how to build up your business. I think it just came out recently, so Amber can share that link with you.
Offers like really require a lot of thought, and you need a few ingredients. People need to know that you're competent. It depends on what your offer is, what you're trying to promote. If it's yourself as a coach, then you need to prove that. So you need as many testimonials as possible, right? So just giving you a recap again, you got to start working for free to gather testimonials and to build your skills, because it takes time to get good at this stuff. You need lots of practice. So that's why the training's done in a way where you're doing a lot of practical till you get comfortable, and then you through those getting testimonials, you get all the assets you need to put on your webpage. So when people see it, they go, oh wow, this Krishna looks like she knows what she's doing. You also need to know what's your offer for. So what's your target? Who do you want to serve? Is it the whole world, or is it people that you relate to more, right? So you need to know that. Once you know those things and you've practiced enough and you're competent, you can start selling, right? Selling your services. Some people they do it very quickly. Others take a bit of time to get comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And it's so reassuring to know that I'm on totally the right track. So thank you so much.
Nice one, Krishna.
Thank you.
Thanks. Cool.
Thank you, Krishna. Okay, let's go to gallery view and see if anybody else has a question for. Yes, I see Dina. Dina, would you like to unmute, please, and join us here?
Hi, Wilma. Hi, Niraj.
Hi there. Nice to see you again, Dina.
Thank you. Me too. I'm also a SOMA Breath instructor. Hi, Krishna. And recently graduated. Certified level 1. So very, very happy and excited. And my question for you, Niraj, would be, okay, let's say now you were saying that you have to get good at this. You have to practice a lot to get good at this. So imagine if you just graduated, got certified, and you had this opportunity to be able to lead a Monday morning session every week for all year long, let's say, and you got certified. So of course, like you don't want to miss it, but you are scared and you're stressed, and you just started, but then you believe in your full potential. So my 2 questions would be, first, how can you remain consistent and good, or you get good by practicing, but I mean, how can you keep it very appealing and very beneficial if you do it as regularly? One. And my second question is just how to deal with this situation as a beginner that has to do that for I would say like a notable company, with people all over the world going to be able to jump on the calls every Monday morning. Thank you.
Okay, so you want to know how to make a regular class for a wide group of people that is frequent.
Exactly.
Without it getting boring.
Exactly.
Okay. So I know this is called Ask Me Anything, AMA, but some of the questions from instructors, we actually have the big calls. So these sorts of calls, they're about building a business. I think it will be better there so we can give more chance to people who, new to SOMA Breath. But
okay.
This can apply to anyone who, regardless of anything that you do, right? Like let's say you're a yoga instructor or anyone who's doing any kind of a class. So the ingredients you need, okay, is you need a class that firstly has some kind of wow factor to it that keeps people wanting to come back. Okay, so we already take care of that with the technique itself, so we don't have to worry about that. Second is, in Big, we have a whole library of different types of templates, so it can never get boring because all the time we're uploading new music, new techniques, new rhythms, and there's so many different classes and types of classes you can do, so many ways you can change the sequence. And whatever you do, as long as you are not doing like something like that's like our instructor training type class, which you wouldn't be doing, all the energized breath meditations are designed for everybody, right? Regardless of the background. As long as you really know who the audience is. I don't know who you're working with, but if they're like corporate people, then what's the result? You need to think about, what do you want them to feel at the end of the class, and then theme your classes around that feeling that you want to give to people at the end of it. all right? And then what's the point of the class? Is it just a one-off thing that happens each week, or is it stepping into some other kind of coaching program or one-on-one thing that you might be offering? So, so that's it really. Our training is already designed for that in mind.
Okay.
So
Does that make sense?
also a great resource for all our instructors is our app and the membership. If you go into that and you actually watch other instructors, you can see what they do with just 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And the music and the different topics that they're bringing up. Or sometimes all you have to do is read the list of topics, and from that you could actually construct a weekly session, which is constantly changing and keeping people's interest. So there's a wealth of information. So all the instructors that are in this room, remember,
Thank
you
you very
all
much.
have your virtual classrooms. Thank you, Dina. I'll just remove the spotlight.
Yeah,
You all
there's
have your
lots of-
opportunities to ask questions to Niraj and our master instructors on those calls. And if we can just keep these calls to the, those general questions to do with life and breath work, and so that Niraj can address those. But for the instructors that are here, Amber's dropped the link in. It's called How to Make an Impact and Build a Business as a Breathwork Instructor. She's actually shared, it's an audio book. Amber's shared that link.
Yeah.
And this is why we say to join Facebook, because that's where you will get all the information you need. Okay, there's a wealth of information there. So please join the instructor group, and the link is there for you. So opening the space now to, yes, Niraj.
Yeah, just to add to that. So yeah, we have every Sunday new sessions being done by instructors. So loads of inspiration from that. We can get ideas. But the way our sessions are structured is you have a warm-up, right? There's a practice you do at the beginning, and you can use that opportunity to do different types of warm-ups, from dance to shaking to stretching, yoga. I know you're a yoga teacher, and so on. And that way you can do more variety of different types of sessions. But ultimately what you want to think about is, what is the feeling you want people to go away with at the end of the class? And then reverse engineer from that. That makes sense?
Complete sense. Thank you,
Okay.
Niraj.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
So if anybody has a question, please use your little icon in the reactions button. There's a little raise hand there. And also you could drop them in the chat box. So we do have a question from Larissa. It's quite specific. It's how to heal mold toxicity in the body.
Mold toxicity.
Toxicity in the body.
All right. Yeah. So this is the kind of questions I like. Okay. So mold toxicity is quite, it can be, if you read the right magazines, quite a serious issue, right? People, worried about mold in their house, and in certain cold, damp environments it can be quite a problem, especially anywhere that's really humid. Mold can be an issue, and people breathe in these spores, and those spores can lead to inflammation and allergies in the body, right? So what I want people to be able to do, right, is to really start thinking logically about how the body works, okay, and how people get sick in the first place, okay? So what happens is, if you go into a room, like, or say you're staying in a house where you are there for a while, okay, it usually takes a bit of time for the mold to really kick in. What you're doing is you're breathing in constantly air, right? So that air is going to be contaminated in certain areas, potentially with mold spores, right? So what, if you want to prevent that from happening, prevention is always better than cure. There are things you can do to first prevent the spread of mold in the house. So there are certain air filtration units you can use, but there's also ways you can clean the mold out of the house, right? It can be a bit of an expensive job, but these are things you can do to prevent. So prevention is really something you need to think about straight away, right? First step. But now let's say you're already infected, okay? So now what you can do is a protocol for clearing out toxins from the body. So we have an entire, I call it the purification process, where we do quite an intense protocol of sauna with niacin, okay, combined with cold plunge, and a protocol that works like this, right? So you spend 15 minutes in a very hot sauna, 80 degrees plus, followed by cold, and so on. You keep going like this. So what happens is your blood vessels are constantly expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. And this has a very good way of flushing out toxins, especially if you use niacin, pure vitamin B3. There's an amazing way of clearing all the crap out of your body, okay? And you'll feel amazing at the end of it. If you combine that with all of our techniques, from the breath work through to things like shaking, dancing, moving, there's SOMA Breath yoga, you can make your own protocol, which is what I do. I try and follow it as much as I can, where you can every day be enhancing your ability to clear out toxins from the system, okay? So that's the practice. And again, I recommend you find a SOMA Breath instructor who can coach you through this. Train one who's done it, especially ones who've been to our retreats. They're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and they can help you. So most of our transformational coaches, we have this clear in our course, and they can coach you through this protocol, okay? Now, there are other things you can use, like certain types of supplements to kill the bacteria or the mold, right, inside the body. So there is one called, let me just have a look, MMS. There is special supplement using chlorine dioxide. And I need to look into this a bit more, because I haven't had an issue with this myself for a long time. My housemate Tamara is a total expert on this stuff. So what you could do is, or what I'll do is I'll get a list of all the kinds of things that help with molds, and I'll make a post, and we'll post it in, if Wilma, if you can remind me, in the Facebook group, like a little mold survival kit, if that's all right. Is that okay?
That would be more than okay. I think everybody would agree. That would be really, really welcomed.
But MMS is the one supplement I know that's helped, for sure.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Any other questions from anyone in the room? Yes, we do have one here from Matilda. She says she'd like to learn more about the benefits of intermittent hypoxia, that for hypertension, high cholesterol level, she's read up about it, but it seems like there is little literature, or at least she hasn't been able to find it, about hypoxia and the usual case of cancer. Someone recommended SOMA Breath when her mum was diagnosed with cancer. It has helped her herself a ton with her mental health, but she just wants to know, with the breath holds, is it safe for her mum to do? What are your thoughts?
So the cancer is not a contraindication. So let's clear that up. It should have been switched already everywhere.
No, I don't think this isn't an instructor. I think it's just from what she's read about breath holding.
So that's obviously something that needs to be changed, because we did have it as a contraindication ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it needs to be cleared everywhere on the website. So maybe David Jennicade, you can have a look into that. But basically, I've consulted with lots of people now, lots of medical doctors, and actually they think that the way we do it is beneficial. All right. So we you need to know the difference between intermittent hypoxia and chronic hypoxia. There's a huge difference, okay? Now, if you look on the internet and look up intermittent hypoxia, you're going to find a lot of confusing stuff because there's chronic intermittent hypoxia. There's intermittent hypoxia like we do it, which is like a few doses a day. There's chronic mild intermittent hypoxia. There's chronic hypoxia. So there's many different types of hypoxia, all right? So when you go looking online, it can get a little bit overwhelming of what's right and what's wrong. Just know that therapeutic controlled intermittent hypoxia, like what we're doing, has a use case for numerous diseases, okay, including cancer, because what it does is increases oxygenation of your body tissue cells. Cancer and a lot of diseases are the result of low body tissue oxygenation. So just remember that when we're holding our breath, you're not suppressing oxygen anywhere in the body long enough to cause any problems with cancer, okay? What you're doing though is you're increasing oxygenation of those body tissue cells, and this can actually help heal the body. We're not curing cancer. Let's be straight here. What you're doing is you're supporting the body to heal itself. Plus our therapeutic breath techniques, which is all about reprogramming the body, because cancer is a malfunction of the DNA of the cells. We can rewire, reprogram cancer, as shown by so much anecdotal evidence of people curing cancer from subconscious reprogramming techniques. Again, I recommend to work with SOMA Breath instructors. Like, we're not just creating SOMA Breath instructors for no reason. The reason we're doing it is because we need an army of people right now to help where the medical system is failing. We really need it. So I really recommend help yourself by finding an instructor near you, because they're trained to go through the material and teach you it in the right way. Is that good?
Yeah, really, really good advice, Niraj. And for everyone, I say this almost every Sunday on our lives. When you come on and you talk about what your questions are and what your doubts are, the last person you tend to invest in is yourself, and you're the person suffering, and that's why you've shown up to ask the questions. And if you're going to spend any money on something, invest in yourself, because the equipment you need from us is basically here in your lungs, is your breath, right? There is nothing else, but you just do need to know, like Niraj says, to change the way you're thinking, the vibration that you're emitting, all of those. You're so worth it, and then the outcome will be the new you that you are aspiring to be. So really do reach out to our instructors, because then you can really open up and tell them what your issues are and get some advice and you can come on in leaps and bounds. Most of our instructors have come from doing our 21-day awakening journey or having a one-to-one session with our instructors and seen themselves what happens when you can change the way you think and your outlook and the lens with which you're looking through, and have wanted to change their career and become instructors. So there is a lot to this. Cambridge University are studying us because they've seen results, right? And in the NHS in the UK, they want to bring this out into the mental health, into their mental health platform, because it works. So really, really think about, if you want to put your money somewhere, put it into yourself and get yourselves better. And in the long run, it's going to be better for everybody. So,
True.
Liz, you wanted to come on and join us. Would you like to unmute yourself and join us here and put your question to Niraj? Welcome.
Thank you. I was wondering if you have any specific recommendations that can help with obstructive sleep apnea, not the kind that's caused from excess weight, but rather malformations of the structures in the mouth, including a narrowing of the upper palate and the tongue positioning.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Usually people with that situation tend to use the machines, like the breathing machines. But the same rules is, what we do is like sleeping on your side, not on your back. And having a regular practice during the day that encourages nasal breathing and good breathing habits will prevent issues at night. And also the room, you need to take care of the room not being too hot, having it ventilated, and stuff like that. Don't wrap yourself up too much with too many sheets. Yeah. And don't eat too late at night.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Got your
Same
back,
same
Liz.
same things that apply for everybody else. Just with these situations, because they're more mechanical, you sometimes need a mechanism to help, like the CPAP machine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Liz. I hope that helped. And we can take a question from Henry. Hi, Henry. Would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Yes, hello. Okay.
Hi, Henry.
Namaste to all. आप कैसे हैं? मेरा नाम Henry है, and I'm very happy to be here. Sorry I'm late, but long story short, my quick question is this: the breath work that has come out of SOMA is equated with worship. So let me ask you this: is there, in the way that in the way that you teach, is there any connection with any worship, or is it strictly involving the breath work, not spirituality, but worship? Because I believe in worship. Yes.
Oh, is there any connection between the breathwork technique and worship? So
Right.
I think it depends on the intention. The breathing exercise is just a breathing exercise, right? That's all it is. But when you put an intention to it, the why and the words you use, if you're guiding it, then it becomes whatever you want. So it can become worship if you have the intention to make it that. So all these practices were done, thousands of years ago by monks in monasteries, in caves and things as their own form of prayer, or I call them scientific prayers. So I think for me, it's a form of worship because I'm speaking to something beyond myself when I do the very profound breathwork sessions. That's how I see it. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
So essentially, it doesn't have to be, but of course, it's according to the individuals, like you said, their intention. I
It's like
appreciate
yoga,
that.
right? So in yoga, right, there's tantric yoga. There's original ancient tantric yoga has different varieties of it. There's the tantric yoga where you actually are doing poses that depict certain gods. So what's happened these days is that now some Christian fundamentalists are seeing that and trying to make everybody scared of it, saying that it's demonic worship. Actually, it's just a pose. It's an exercise, right? That has an intention to it given by some old religious sect. But yoga has so many different benefits, biologically, physiologically. And if you just do it as the exercise, it's just an exercise. But if you do it in a way where you're trying to summon demons, then it becomes some demonic thing. Just like if you go to a church and pray to Satan, right, then it becomes a demonic place, right? But it's the intention. The intention is everything.
Okay, yeah. So
Does that make
makes sense. I just had that question, but no, I'm here because I'm curious and I'm actually interested in adding this to my training and certifications in order to help others as well. So I think it's absolutely very valuable. So thank you so very much for answering my questions and this AMA.
Beautiful, man. Cheers, Henry.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you. And you just need to look at our community. It is so international, coming from all walks of life, all religions, and we all just come underneath the one breath. And that's what it's about. And like Niraj said, it's then our intention. Each one does their own intention with what it is, but we're not a religious cult or anything like that. So
No. It wasn't suggesting that at all. But I just came back from my little daily walk by the lake, and the realization came to me that the earth is the breath. The earth has its breath, and we're merely there to inhale it and connect.
I think a lot of instructors wrote that sentence down. I think that's an amazing sentence. Thank you.
And SOMA Breath is a secular, open framework which you can plug into. So doesn't matter what religion you're, what background, what you worship. It's just a framework. So you can plug in whatever you want into it, and it will amplify the effects of it, in my opinion. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. I just the concept of breath is a universal concept. In Hebrew, it's ruach, and the idea is again, it's a life force. So if you take that consideration, that's also the Chinese of qi. So it's nice to connect with like minds.
Nice.
I need to meet more intelligent folk like you guys.
I hope to see more of you on these sessions, Henry. And on Sundays we breathe together. It's a completely free
Really? What
session.
time?
It's usually at 12 p.m. New York time, and it's led by our different instructors. And if everyone wants to see Niraj lead a breathwork session, it will be on May the 12th as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll
So
see how my
everybody,
schedule is.
invite everybody, and you can see how we come together as a community.
Where are you based, Henry?
I'm based in North Carolina.
Okay, because I'm doing a special ceremony actually, because I got invited to Miami to do a special ceremony. Let me just post it in so you can see it, everybody. Let me just get the details. But basically, there's so many ceremonies dedicated to women. This one lady, she hosts a lot of them in Miami, decided we needed one that was more of a celebration from the masculine energy for men and masculine, which all women have as well. So she invited me. She said I was the right person for it. So I'm leading this in Miami on the 19th. So let me just copy and paste in the information here for you all.
It's not likely that I will be able to do that one, but my cousin is down in Miami. I might turn you on to her, or turn her on to you, and she might be there in my stead.
Nice.
Nevertheless, there is a lot to be said about the feminine energy, because if we did not have it, then there would be no human beings. You know, so there's that, and there's beauty. So thank you again.
Thank you, Henry. Hope to see you around a lot more. Welcome to
working on it. Working on it. Shukriya.
Niraj, do you have time for any more questions?
Yeah. There's one good one here
from Katie. Katie, yes, I love this question because you've already seen it, Niraj, but I like it because I think whenever you answer this question, you show us how important all of our body is, not just when people hear things, like even when you said with the yoga and the pose, and people might have seen one comment about it having any religious connection, and then people just tune in to that one specific piece of information. And with our breathwork meditations, this comes up so often about, but I can't visualize. I can't see what you're telling me to see. And then when your answer is always amazing. So I'll let you take this one now.
So actually, I just saw Michael, one of our instructors, just answered it, and he's done a very good job of answering it. But let me just read out what he's written, and I'll add to it. So I've learned that. So Kay's question was she can't visualize. She has aphantasia. Yeah. So when she's doing the breath meditations, often I talk about the mind movie and visualize this and that. So she wants some advice. So Michael says, I've learned that aphantasia is much more common than I thought a year ago. Being a memory expert, Michael's actually been on TV doing some crazy shit. And not only a SOMA Breath instructor, I can tell that the importance in the visualization isn't really to see, but to experience it, just as in memorizing. There are 3 categories in this. 1 is visual, 2nd auditory, 3rd is kinesthetic. So I suggest to try focus more on the feeling and hearing. So the feeling and the sound, because he is also kinesthetic, that's what he does. That will enhance experience of the meditation. So let's just break this down. So when we do a breath session, that the frame I really like to use right at the beginning is the mind movie metaphor, right? So why I use it is because the mind movie is a way for you to communicate to the unconscious mind, right? The right side of the brain that works with the emotions, past memories, and then allows you to tap into the programming of the operating system so that we can reprogram it, okay? Or we can change perception of the past and create new feelings that have new meanings, all right? Make sense? So the mind movie metaphor is a metaphor of actually what we usually see or feel or hear when we close our eyes and when somebody says to you, imagine, followed by something, right? Like a statement of what they want you to imagine. So our mind works holographically. We project in all directions, like an IMAX cinema, an image, right, of memories or things that we want to create, okay? So some people are more visionary, visual, some people are more auditory, some people are more kinesthetic, and then there's two others, olfactory and gustatory. So that's movement and balance. So when we experience life, we experience life through sensory input. So information comes at us in different forms: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, gustatory, and olfactory, okay? So we will learn from the past and create memories about events, right? Especially the ones that are very dramatic will stay with us the most through these senses, okay? Now, some people will feel things a lot more, experiences more, than they will see, right? They may not pay attention so much to what's around them visually, but they would certainly feel, sense, and maybe hear sounds during these experiences and events. Others are very visual and they're very aware of their surroundings and they really are in tune with what's going on in their environment around them in terms of what they see. In fact, they might have a photographic memory, okay? Others, not so much. Other people, their brain communicates to them, not so much in visuals, but more in sounds and words and a voice in their head. That's a very loud voice in their head. Others will feel emotions much more in their body, okay, compared to others, right? So we all have a different balance of these senses, these sensory inputs. So what I like to use is the mind movie metaphor, because when I do these mind movie metaphors is as I use all of the cues. So when I ask you to imagine an event from the past, I ask you to go back to a certain time that made you feel a certain way, right? To bring up that feeling, because that's what we're trying to do here, is create a feeling. We're trying to change your chemistry so you elicit certain neurotransmitters for the change to happen. What we do is I will say, hear what you'd hear, see what you'd see, feel what you'd feel if you're living and breathing this moment right now. And then I would ask you to, if you see a still image, make it move. Or if you see a moving image or still image, play along with that. So I will communicate to people in all of the senses as I'm guiding the journey to take care of the fact that not everyone is visual. Some people feel more and they hear more. Others see more and they don't feel as much. Does that make sense? So what you want to do, as Michael said, is to get into the senses that are more aligned with you, who you are, your preferred sensory inputs. So usually people who aren't so visual tend to be more kinesthetic or auditory or both. Does that make sense? So when you're doing the movie in your mind, Okay, you can, when I ask you to imagine doing something that you love to do that gives you a lot of joy and gratitude, what you can do is to start feeling as though you're living that experience right now. You don't necessarily have to see everything like HD definition. And what we can do though, and almost everybody can see colors, right? They can see, if you imagine what's blue look like, you can sense there's a blue in your mind's eye if you're asked that question with a little bit of practice. Okay, so that's why I like to use color breathing in my sessions, because what we're doing is we're taking that feeling and turning into something that's very easy to visualize or embody. So let's say you don't see a color. What you can do is feel what it feels like to be breathing in that color into every single cell of your being. All right. So as an instructor, what you're going to do is also bear that in mind, is when you're doing a session, is that you try and speak to these different sensory inputs so that it doesn't like just focus on one of them. Does it make sense? I'm hoping that this has answered the question.
Katie, can you let us know if that has helped you? Is Katie still in the room? Let me just check. Yes, Katie, let us know. And thank you. I will try with the feeling, she says.
Yeah, there's feeling and also the hearing, the sounds. Like you can use words to invoke that feeling as well. You can use your own affirmations in that moment.
Thank you. And well
Okay.
done to Michael. That was an amazing answer that he's put. Katie says, yes, she also has autism, so she struggles with emotions too. And she's put a laughing face because she's got that sense of humor as well. So I hope what Niraj has said is helpful, but also to everybody, because I know there's actually quite a lot of information that we have been talking about. Don't forget, this will stay up on YouTube for possibly a day or so. So you can revisit it, share it with your friends if you've seen a question come up that you think would help them. And it will also go into our replay in our app and inside our membership, which will talk to you about our app so that you can find it and download it and use it, and let us know what you think of it as well. Questions just in now from Henry Gaskins. How can breathwork help with bipolar disorder? Henry, that was here. Do you want Henry to join us to give you a bit more information?
Sure.
Yeah, Henry, would you like to join us
here?
here?
Big question.
Hi, Henry. If you could unmute, please.
Hi again.
Hi there. Hi, Henry.
All right, quick question. Yeah. So a few of my associates, friends that I know are dealing with bipolar. I have one young fellow who's probably in his early 20s, and he's dealing with that. And so he goes through, when they go into the anger state, okay, I'm wondering if there's a way, if there are techniques that can help them prior. And I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah, so bipolar is going to be exacerbated by first, like low physical health, not taking care of yourself, stimulants, alcohol, just living an unclean lifestyle.
That's true.
Sometimes you can bring balance just by taking out all the factory foods out of the diet, right? Especially drinking heavily sugared stuff and alcohol. Get rid of all that. So living a clean lifestyle as possible is going to help with keeping balance, but it's all about balance. Okay, so also bipolar is going to be triggered by the environment, so that's very difficult to change, right? I can't really give recommendations on that because that's going to be based on the individual circumstance. But our breathing techniques, which revolve around rhythmic breathing, slow rhythmic breathing, and increasing CO2 tolerance, because CO2 calms the excitatory neurons in the brain. It naturally makes you feel blissed out. CO2 and nitric oxide will help with bipolar symptoms. So working towards, so Breath Fit, the whole Breath Fit course is designed for CO2 tolerance. Look into that. Is that cool?
Try unmuting, Henry.
Good deal. Thank you so much. I just need to get some ideas, because I've run into so many individuals with that to a greater or lesser degree, and find the techniques. When I took the young fellow out to the park and just had him breathe a bit, I can see the difference. Then I have there's a young granddaughter who likewise, she may or may not be bipolar at this point, but she's definitely what they call ADHD or hyperactive. But I've had her go through some breath work, which actually calmed her, at least for the moment. So I know that the techniques work. I think people need to be more connected with themselves, yes, and connected with their environment in order to heal themselves. Actually,
100%.
So,
you got it. Man.
Would you consider visiting my humble YouTube channel for a podcast?
Oh, for a podcast. Well, email our support at SOMA Breath with your request, and then my assistant will check it all out. And yeah, maybe we'll do it.
Good.
Okay, support@somabreath.com. Support@somabreath.com. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
Amber, could you just drop the email address in there? And I think, Niraj, I was just looking at all the different types of topics that have been coming up to do with mental health. And I think we have a power hour coming up with you soon, or we have some scheduled with you. And some questions that Amber has been collecting were centered around OCD, autism, ADHD, bipolar. Maybe we could have, and mental health awareness day or week is coming up soon as well. So maybe we can tailor a talk around that one of these days, and we can hone in on that. But I do think you need to go now, Niraj.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So for anybody who has any questions, remember we want to make these as quite regular. Maybe every other week we'll have an Ask Me Anything, and then a power hour dedicated topics. And so keep sending your questions in, even if it's through Facebook, if it's through our support channel, and we will collect them and put them to Niraj, because we can't get through all of them. But it's good to have these questions, and this is how we know how we can theme topics. Also, Amber is going to share all the links that we have spoken about. If you want to do one-on-one sessions with one of our instructors worldwide, you can do them in person or online. If you want to become an instructor, and of course, to download our app, because especially for all of you who are new here, and someone like Henry, where you have lots of questions, if you actually go through our app, you will see all the different techniques that we offer and all the different reasons those techniques are there. It's a good way to start. So you download the app. There's a lot of free content at the moment. And then if you want access to all of our recordings and all of our lives, then you need to be a subscriber so that you can go and revisit all of these, when they get taken down off YouTube. So there is a wealth of information, and we're always here for you. Join our Facebook group. So once I close this session, hang around just to quickly copy these links down. Niraj, would you want to say anything before you leave?
Just much love, everyone. Stay top of your game. We need people to be healthy and happy in this day and age right now with everything we're going through, and to think rationally. So let's all come together as a community. And I will be in America for a bit. As I said, 19th of May. It's going to be a really cool event in Miami. I've posted the info there in the chat if you want to come. Check it out. If you're in the area, it's going to be really fun. Otherwise, I'll see you at some of our events. Mind Valley University, maybe, in talent.
And our retreats. Actually, there's so much to talk about. We have so many retreats going on in Denver.
Maybe you want to stay on and
do you want to go? You go.
Yeah.
Okay, and have an amazing time this evening with your family. Say hello to Natasha and to Anastasia. And I can no longer have a conversation with you, Niraj, because your daughter looks so much like you. It's like I'm talking to her. So sweet. So thank you so much for your time.
All right, cheers,
and I'll just stay on and tell everybody what they need to know. Take care, Niraj. Thank you.
Much love, Amber. Much love. Peace.
Thank you. All right, everybody. So it's not just me saying this. I just want to read out what Adele, who's a SOMA Breath community member, she's been with us for a few years now. She said she's downloaded the app on Sunday after our Breathe Together session, and it's fantastic. So you don't want to miss that out there. There is free content for you to test out first if you're unsure. So just scroll up on these links that we've left for you and download the app. Also, if you are an instructor who wants to further your knowledge, you want to be in contact with people, we do have our retreats in Denver and in London is sold out, in Switzerland, Denver and Switzerland. So Amber, if you could just please drop in the retreats link. And then if you're not an instructor, but you do want to dive deeper, our 21-day online program is like our signature program, which is what in the end ultimately brings our instructors to us wanting to become instructors after going through this program, because it's a very deep awakening journey. But if you want to be with people whilst you go through this, we do have a retreat going on in Austria. If you would like to just copy the link down and then have a look at it. I think people are having difficulty copying from our chat box at the moment. So if you just press on the link so that it opens, and that way you have it saved, and then you can save that link. But there's so many opportunities there. And if you have any questions, please write to support@somabreath.com and we'll be happy to answer anything you want to ask. All right. I think that's answered everybody. I do have to go. Thanks. Will you be having retreats in the West Coast in the USA? The idea is to bring more and more retreats to you guys. This is why it's really important to have as many trained master transformational coaches. These are our instructors that have done all of the studying, because Niraj can't be in all the places at once. So we do need more of you guys so that we can depend on you to have these retreats for us. And that's why David Jennikant is going to be in the one in Switzerland, and I think it's Patty. We have some instructors, master instructors, doing the retreat in the training in Denver as well. So it's very important to get training and complete your studies so that we can offer more and more retreats and training centers around the world. But our idea is to have this worldwide. Okay, I think that's it. How long to certify? That is all down to you, because it's an online course, and we have calls that you can join as well during the month with our master instructors, with Niraj, with our marketing director as well. So it's how much work you put into it as well as to how quickly you come out with the certification. To do level 1, which is our first step on the ladder of our training, some people have done it within 6 weeks, some even less. So, and then you have access to our music library. All the music that you hear on our breathwork sessions is all made in-house. So it's not made by other people, it's made by SOMA Breath. Niraj is a DJ and a musician, and he works with a load of talented musicians to bring this music to you, and you will have access to our library of music as well. So if you do want to become an instructor, the link is there. Book a call and talk to our experts, and they will help you decide which is the correct level of training for you. And we have financial packages, payment plans as well that you can look into. Okay, so I think that's it. And don't forget, we will have more of these, so there will be more opportunities to ask all your questions. But if you think that you can't turn up for one of our lives, please send in your question to support@somabreath.com or join our Facebook group. Drop your questions there. We will collect them. We will ask them for you, and then you can watch the replay. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. Join us on Sunday for our Breathe Together, which is also free. Invite your friends, and I will keep the room open for a little bit so you can copy all those links, because I know there was a lot there. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's say goodbye the SOMA Breath way. I hope we've helped to raise your knowledge and your level of vibrational energy. I'm Wilma, your host. Hope you have a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye.